That's me, Connor E. Faulkner. E stands for Eldon, which is my father's first name. I was supposed to be the fourth, and my mom was like, well, maybe that's for the best that we don't. So, lo and behold, here I am. There's my family. We like to go on vacation quite a lot. My grandpa has this nice car that we usually drive back to the bricks for the summer. Here's some of my good friends. Sometimes it can be a bit much, but you know, be a good old chill time. Photography, I love macro, up close, a little too personal at times. But if there's any other shot I like taking, I will take it. My favorite place in the whole world is at New York, top of the World Trade Center. Basically see everything, for example, the Statue of Liberty. I have 5 pets, 2 dogs, 2 cats. My cat is Woodson, or as I call him, OJ. He was a stray, he was found. Now he lives in my room. Here's my passionate individual side. The photo on the very top left is my old workspace. I used to use that to clean controllers, learn how to fix them, clean them, consoles even. The photo below it is a card table that's set up in my room to change the shell on my Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. And I may or may not have gotten in trouble for that a good few times for back order on parts. Sorry, Mom. Oops.
I'm passionate about learning how things work. Especially electronics have interested me, and seeing if I could modify them in any way. I enjoy tinkering with electronics and altering them. I currently work for the school and would like to go into the workforce for similar jobs, involving computer, technology, anything like that. The iPod was the first electronic that I was given that really sparked my interest in figuring out how electronics work, as I had it on me all the time and began to get curious. Since then, I've enjoyed tearing electronics apart in order to learn how they work. This is an optical drive from an Xbox One. I tore it apart at my old job. It was really cool to learn how it worked, what it did. When I was around 14, I decided that I was going to replace the shell on my Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. It went really well, but it was very hard to figure out since I was young and kind of rushed everything in order to see results.
Like I said, that's an optical drive for an Xbox One. I had to figure out what was wrong with it. It was just a sensor that I could clean, and then it read games perfectly fine. The photo above it was, like I said, the first device I ever got. I received it from my dad on Christmas when I was younger. I don't remember exactly when, but that's what sparked what I do now. Here's my Literate Scholar page. I chose Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I rated an 8 out of 10. There's me, the literate scholar. I typically struggle with reading, but this book was more engaging than others. Now, you may ask why I struggle. I have ADD and dyslexia, so I can jumble up the words quite a bit, and comprehension is a bit more difficult. In the future, I plan on reading things more informal and informational to enhance my knowledge on hands-on work and technology. Here's my complex thinker. The 4 photos you see on top are my brother's Joy-Con that he broke. Hopefully my parents didn't know about and scold him later. But I fixed it for him, somewhat. That first photo is the railing system. He broke that off, so I had to take it off. There was a little button up in the corner that I wasn't able to fix, but in the video that I'm going to show you, I am able to, and there you go.
Hello. Today I'm going to be showing you the inside of a Nintendo Switch Joy-Con. So, basically what we're going to do is we're going to take the shell from this one and the battery and put it in this one. That should fix our problem. This is not working and the button for this is broken, so I'll just move the board from this over to here and we should be good to go. So it was at this point that I realized a voiceover might be easier. Right now, what I'm trying to do is take off the back plate, and right here it's all broken. Nothing I can really do about that right now. I'll have to buy a replacement piece for it, but for now it should be okay. Now I'll take the battery out to get to the screws underneath of it to take that top plate off and expose everything underneath of it. So that's what I'll do here. The trigger is just spring-loaded, so when you press down on it, it's supposed to register a click, but there's no button there to register anything. So it's broken and needs to be replaced. Now, when you press down on the bumper, it should make a clicking noise, but I'll show you here. That's the sound it should make. So what I'll do is I'll take the broken one and replace it with the one in that blue controller. So I'll take the last couple of screws out to release the motherboard of the controller out of the shell. Now, the motherboard registers the button clicks on the board itself, so when you press down on the buttons on the controller, it's just the board registering those clicks. Now I'll start to take apart the blue controller and salvage parts from that and put them back in the green shell. The board from the blue controller was originally from a yellow controller, so when you slide it into a switch, it registers it as a yellow controller. At the end of the video, I'll show you that you can change the color with the software and make it whatever color you'd like, and the switch will register it as that color. So now I'm just putting all of the components back into the green shell, and then I'm going to test to make sure that the battery works and that it all works together. This is what I'd say is the most tedious part, having to put all of the small buttons back into the railing system, just so then it looks nice and all the colors match up. Now I'll put all the ribbon cables back into the motherboard and then connect it all back together. One of the controllers wasn't working, but I believe it's because of this battery. One of the batteries is more bloated than the other, so we won't be using the bloated one, and I'll have to dispose of it properly because you can't just throw it away. So I'll put the good battery in the controller and test and see if all of it works. And it seems that all of the components work together, so I'll put the last screws back into the controller and hold it all together. Update the controllers, test if they all work. Here, I'm trying to best match the color of the Joy-Con in my computer, so then the Switch registers it as that color. Then I'll hit submit and we're good to go. As you can tell, for a second there, it was a yellow controller, but once I put it on, it should register it as green. And that should be it. The controller is fixed, the colors match, and it's playable. And now the controller is considered repaired.
So let's hope you trust me with your electronics. Here's my day on the job. For my day on the job, I went with the Wentworth team and job shadowed a realtor. The key take away for success, I'd say, is communication and relationships. A good helpful tool to have those is social media. Social media is a good free advertisement as well to get your word out and what you do and, staying communicative. But overall, I'd say real estate isn't for me, but I will work on their electronics if needed. Involved citizen. For involved citizen, I went to the National Cemetery to plant flags on Memorial Day. The photo next to it is my group for Student Council States. That was over, I believe, April of this year. The photo above that is my group last year at Local 598 for a Halloween trick-or-treat trail for little kids to come and get candy. And next to that is where we had to dress up all Southern for our conference. For future plans and finance, I say I would probably go to Mott Community College to better my knowledge on computer repair and help desk. I plan on staying in Michigan for the next 10 years with also probably having a family and a nice house and keeping my job in technology. That's my presentation. Thank you for listening to me this early in the morning, and that is me signing off.